My name is Mike Ziegler. I'm a lawyer with the law office of Robert Eckard & Associates. I primarily represent consumers in foreclosure and bankruptcy matters. I want to talk about 4 trends today that are going to have a real impact on consumers going through 2012 and into 2013. Now, the consumers I'm talking about are dealing with 2 related challenges. The first challenge is that their mortgage is giving them trouble, meaning that they owe a whole lot more than the property is worth. The second challenge is really with the consumer themselves. It's not so much that the mortgage is unreasonable, it's just that their finances can't afford it. Again, we're talking about 4 different trends that are going to impact those consumers. The first is going to be the expiration of the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act. This act can be really helpful for some consumers. What it allows for is the avoidance of tax liability on mortgage debt forgiveness. So when you're dealing with a short sale, when you're dealing with foreclosure litigation, when you're dealing with a deed in lieu, that can create a taxable event. If, by way of example, you have a debt for $200,000, you short sell a property for $100,000. There's a $100,000 difference there. The lender may send out a 1099 for that $100,000 difference. Now again, as it applies to your primary residence, you will likely not have any tax liability for that $100,000 tax 1099 as it presently stands. This Tax Avoidance Act is going to expire at the end of this year and may create substantial tax liability for homeowners going into 2013. Now, I'll provide the brief caveat that we do not provide tax advice, and we do encourage you to seek out a financial principal if this is of major concern. The second issue is going to be the expiration of the Home Affordable Modification Program, or HAMP for short. Now, this program has received a lot of mixed reviews, but the reality is that this is the primary program through which lenders are currently processing their modifications. At the end of this year, the program is going to expire, and the projection is that 600,000 qualified homeowners, that's 600,000 qualified homeowners who should be eligible for a modification, will not receive a modification by the time the program ends. The third trend is the termination of the Florida's Supreme Court Residential Mediation Program. This program has received really a lot of negative publicity. In fact, statistically, only approximately 3% of mediations have resulted in a written agreement. But in my personal experience, I found that the program was beginning to take traction, and I think this is a loss for consumers, that they're losing an opportunity to really have an opportunity to communicate with the lender. You're able to reach a point of contact, you're able to determine what documents, if any, the lender's having a problem with. Again, I found the program to be growing and improving, and I'm disappointed to see the loss. Fourth and finally are some potential changes occurring within the state legislature. Here in Florida, there has been legislation that's been proposed that would help to expedite the foreclosure litigation process. While this may be interpreted as a good thing or a bad thing depending on where you stand, the message for consumers is this. Really, with all 4 of these issues, you can no longer afford to sit idly by and hope that your troubled mortgage is going to work itself out. You have to actively go out and seek a solution. If you aren't taking the proactive effort to go out and work out a solution, then unfortunately a solution is going to be worked out for you. My name is Mike Ziegler with the law office of Robert Eckard & Associates.